On the 106th episode of the HatTrick Sports Podcast, we are going to be talking a lot about the MLB because it's that time of year. Not a whole lot of sports going on, but we will talk a lot about the MLB. We're going to be ranking the top 5 biggest blowouts in MLB history and ending it off with some Hall of Fame. Yay or nay, make sure you use code HatTrick Sports while checking out at w.gg for 10% off your order. Roll it! Welcome to HatTrick Sports, starring your host, Isaiah Carpenter. Bringing you the biggest sports headlines every week. This is the HatTrick Sports Podcast. Here we go! Alright, hey, for you guys that are just now joining, make sure to follow if you haven't already. We are here filming episode 106. Let's start it off first with last week's 4th of July tradition. The most American thing you could possibly do. Who can eat the most hot dogs in 10 minutes? Joey Chestnut has won, I believe, 17 times, dating all the way back since like 2005 or something crazy like that. But yeah, I think the over-under was in the 60s, and he definitely hit the over. He ate 70 and a half hot dogs in 10 minutes. That is, I don't think people understand how many hot dogs 70 and a half hot dogs is. That is just unbelievable. He won his 17th Nathan's famous 4th of July hot dog eating contest, consuming 70 and a half hot dogs and buns. He didn't do it last year because of all the contract stuff, and it was a big, falling out. I don't really know even what happened. We talked about it last year. But to put in perspective how many 70 and a half hot dogs is compared to Joey Chestnut, in 2023, he only ate 62, 2022, 63, 21, 76. That was the record. In 2020, during COVID, it was 75, 71, 74, 72, 70, 60, 61. But in 2005, he came in 3rd place, eating 32 hot dogs. 2nd place this year, I believe, ate 45 hot dogs. That's wild. Still, 45 hot dogs in 10 minutes is wild. But what's even more crazy is that Joey Chestnut almost doubled that to get 1st place. Just unbelievable. After taking the year off last year. Now, I know he ate those vegan hot dogs because he was signed with Impossible and all that. But what this sparks the question is, I see a lot of people saying that Joey Chestnut is the greatest athlete of all time. And it's weird to think about that, eating the most hot dogs, and not just hot dogs, he eats a whole bunch of food, but eating the most in a set amount of time is considered the greatest athlete of all time. And I'm not saying he's not, but I don't know, do you consider this an athlete? Is this a sport? Obviously, it's a competition. But to say that Joey Chestnut is the greatest athlete of all time by eating the most food, it's kind of diabolical. It's just weird. It's weird to seem I don't really know how to. I could argue that he's the most dominant athlete of all time. 17 first place finishes later, he's still consuming 70 and a half hot dogs. But I think the average person, and I've heard people say, oh, I can eat 10 hot dogs in 10 minutes. No, you can't. I think for the average person that eats 25 to 3,000 calories a day, I think the average person, the over-under would be 3.5 hot dogs in 10 minutes. And I'm being completely honest. So to think about 70 and a half hot dogs in 10 minutes, absolutely wild. I think it is a little absurd that people are saying that he's the greatest athlete of all time. Definitely dominant. I mean, been going since 2020 or 2005, 20 years ago. I think he started and got 3rd place. How old is Joey Chestnut? He's 41 years old. I mean, it's just wild. It's wild to think about. But, I don't think that he's the greatest athlete of all time. I think he's an athlete. Don't get me wrong. It's hard to do this. You need to be athletic, I guess, your digestive system. I don't really know. But, man, I think it was 700 grams of protein in the 70 and a half hot dogs. That's wild. He also has, other records. He has 141 hard-boiled eggs in 8 minutes. 47 grilled cheese sandwiches in 10 minutes. 121 Twinkies in 6 minutes. The dude's nuts, but I wouldn't go as far as to say that he's the greatest athlete of all time. Now that might be a little controversial, and maybe I'm wrong. I just don't see him as you don't look at him and think he's the most athletic person of all time. But he's just crazy. It is wild. It is wild to think about. But Clayton Kershaw ended up throwing his 3,000th strikeout last week. And I heard somebody ask, hey, who are the 2 athletes, dead or alive, to have a 5-minute conversation with? And it made me start thinking, because their response was like Kershaw and something else. But dead or alive, who are the 2 athletes that I would have a conversation with? And I was thinking a lot about it, and I still don't have an answer for it. But I do think Kershaw is in the running for that. I was thinking, like, it's not going to be somebody like Babe Ruth. It's not going to be Joey Chestnut. It's not going to be somebody like that. I was thinking, like, they're obviously the GOAT categories. You have Michael Jordan, you have Wayne Gretzky, you could have Shohei Ohtani, Tom Brady. And sure, I would love to have conversations with them. But imagine having a conversation with somebody like Jose Fernandez, who was like Paul Skeens 10 years ago and unfortunately passed away. But, like, imagine having a conversation with him 10 years ago. I don't know, there's a whole bunch of guys I was thinking of. Jackie Robinson. Imagine having a conversation with Jackie Robinson. Imagine Jose Fernandez or like Clayton Kershaw or Jackie Robinson or even Kobe Bryant, or I wouldn't even say Shaq even, but like guys like that. Imagine having a 5-minute conversation with them. But if you could only pick 2, I think my 2, and again, I'm coming from a Dodgers fan, and this is athletes in general. I'm not a Lakers fan, but I would love to talk to Kobe Bryant even. Larry Bird you could talk to, but it's like those guys are obviously freak athletes, but they don't have like the impact that Jackie Robinson kind of did. Kershaw is like one of my favorite players. He's been playing my entire life, so it just brings up a question. I don't have a definite answer for this right now. I've been thinking about it for the last few days, and I haven't come up with a definite answer, but I want to hear who your 2 athletes, dead or alive, to have a 5-minute conversation with. I want to know who you guys are picking, and maybe next week I come back to it with some more ideas. I've been thinking about it a lot, though, and I haven't had like a set answer to it. Let's talk about the MLB news. The rest of this podcast is going to mostly be MLB news. Let's talk about the Yankees, or shall I say the Stankies. I mean, they have lost 6 straight games at the time of this recording. They're in the middle of the Subway Series. Not looking good for the Yankees. They were ahead in the AL East by quite a bit, but now the Blue Jays are 3 games ahead of them, and the Yankees are tied with the Rays. The Rays, the Rays that were, it's supposed to be last in their division. The Rays were supposed to be last in the division, and now they are tied with the Yankees in second place. If the Rays win today and the Yankees lose today, the Rays and Blue Jays, who were the 4th and 5th place last year, will be ahead of the Yankees. That is unbelievable. The Yankees got to kick it in. Luckily, we have an All-Star break coming up. Those guys go to Atlanta to do the All-Star game. The other guys stay home, take the week off. You come back a day early. You get the team together. Hey, this is the time to lock in. And that's when the Yankees are really going to push it, because they have a good team. They're just in a slump. They're in a very, very bad slump, but it's just a slump. They'll be fine. They'll end in first place. The Blue Jays and Rays, I think, will make the playoffs, but I think all will be fine. But a 6-game losing streak for the Yankees is not good. I mean, Aaron Judge, I don't know how he's walking in New York City right now, or New York. I don't know how he's doing it. Yankees fans got to be frustrated more than ever right now. But yeah, let's just go over some standings while we're at it. So, like I said, the Blue Jays are ahead of the Yankees and Rays by 3 games in the AL East. You have the AL Central. The Tigers are very much ahead, 12.5 games ahead of the Twins. And then you have the Royals, Guardians, White Sox, all way down the list. The Tigers have just been on fire. Right now, they are 56 and 34. In the AL West, you have the Astros, who have won the last 2 games against the Dodgers, unfortunately. But they are 7 games ahead of the Mariners. And then they're 3 games ahead of the Rangers. Then they're a half game ahead of the Angels. And then the A's way down south, 18 games behind the Astros. So that is your American League update. On to the NL. In the NL, you have the Phillies up by half the game against the Mets. The Mets, again, they have won the last couple games against the Yankees. And again, if they win this game, this 3rd game in the Subway Series, and the Phillies end up losing, or not if the Phillies win, but when are the Phillies' next game? I don't know. But, yeah. Mets are right there in the NL East. Then you have the Marlins, 11 games behind them. And then the Braves, who suck this year. Oh, my goodness. Remember where they were finally at 50-50? Yeah, now they are at 39-49. Like, 50-50. Like, they were at the 500. But now their record is 39-49. You have the Nationals, 15 games behind the Phillies. And the NL Central, the Cubs leading it. By 4 games against the Brewers. You have the Cardinals a game and a half behind the Brewers. Then you got the Reds 7 games behind the Cubs, and the Pirates 15 and a half games behind the Cubs. What a waste of Paul Skeens' career. I feel like I've said this for the last few months on this podcast, but Paul Skeens, I mean, he's got to do something else. You got to do it for your own career. I understand the Pirates gave you a chance, but it's not really like the Pirates gave you a chance. You were going first overall no matter what. Whether it was the Dodgers or the Pirates, you got to get out of there. I don't care if you like it. You got to get out of there. For your sake and for all baseball fans' sake, you just got to get out of there. And then in the great NL West, the Dodgers are still in the lead, even though they have been in a little bit of a slump lately. I wouldn't even say a slump. They've lost the last 2 against the Astros. Other than that, they have been absolutely on fire. But the Madres, 8 games behind the Dodgers. Tied with the Giants, though. Ooh, that's a little... When do they play each other next? Padres, Giants. They play each other... April was the last time they played... They play each other in August. August 11th, they play each other in San Francisco. That might be their last series against each other for the season. Maybe, potentially. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, and then the Diamondbacks a few games behind there. And then the Rockies. The Rockies have reached 20 wins this season. The impossible. The Rockies have won 20 games. They are now 20-69. 35 and a half games back right before the All-Star break. I mean, absolutely horrible. 35 and a half games back from the Dodgers, 90 games into the season. 89 games into the season. They're 35 and a half games behind the Dodgers. Unbelievable. They have won 2 of their last 10 games. Give it up for the Rockies. At home... Oh my God, Jesus. They haven't even won 10 games at home. At home, they are 9-36, and away, they are 11-3. And that is your MLB standings recap. Wild, man. Just wild. Just Rockies recession. Jesus. They are horrible, man. They're horrible. The Rockies are horrible. Who has the second, I guess, 29th most wins? So they have 20. The Rockies have 20 wins. I see a 37. I see a 30. The White Sox have 30. The Rockies are behind by 10 games against the... Jesus, they are horrible. The Rockies are actually horrible. The Rockies are like single A horrible. Not even double A, just single A horrible. Absolutely wild. But yeah, hey, a little more updates. Let me move to the tab over here. Yeah, here we go. All right, hey, Jose Altuve passed Jeff Bagwell in career hits for the Astros, and he is now in second place among most career hits for the Astros with 2,321. Obviously, Craig Biggio is in first place. But in the wise words of Ricky Bobby, if you ain't first, you're last. So Jose Altuve, with your big ol' asterisk right there by your name, or it should be, I don't understand why it's not. He is not in first place, so it means absolutely nothing. Ricky Bobby, if you ain't first, you're last. All right, let's move it on. Move it on over. Oh, I will talk about, hey, I absolutely hate Jose Altuve. I think that he should have to be ID'd every time he buys a buzzer. But I will say, the hatred for the Astros, the hatred I have for the Astros has slightly, and I mean this in the very, smallest way, slightly I have slightly, not even forgiven, just like lightened up on the Astros. I used to, for the last, 6 years, when it came out in 2019, the Astros, my least favorite team. I wish they got stomped on. I wanted to see the guys get injured. Like, it was bad. It was really bad. Not the guys that didn't cheat. Like, the newer guys, like, I'm fine with. But the guy, like, the Carlos Correa, the Alex Bregman, even Justin Verlander. I don't care. The pitchers knew about it. The pitchers gained stuff from it. I do not, bro. They're getting me fired up right now, 6 years later. I will say I have slightly lightened up against the organization. Again, the players that cheated 2017 through 2019, I will never forgive ever in my entire life. They stole a World Series from us. They stole MVPs from Aaron Judge. I do not care. I will never forgive those players. But as the organization, I used to think like, hey, if the Dodgers and Giants, because at the time it was the Dodgers and Giants who were tight division rivals. If we were tied with the Giants in the division and the Giants were playing the Astros, I wish that the Giants would stomp on the Astros. Now, hey, if the Dodgers and Padres are like not really close like they are now, and the Astros are playing them, I'm hoping for the Astros to win that. Or no, if the Padres are close to the Dodgers, I'm hoping that the Astros will win that. Slightly. I cannot express how slightly not even forgiveness. I don't even know the right word. But I'm not going to say never cheer for the Astros again. But, like, I can watch them win again. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are a couple teams and couple circumstances where I wouldn't be mad if the Astros won. Don't even get me started on AJ Hinch. I hate him more than all the players combined. But there is a slight, again, I don't know the word, and I can't say slight enough. But the Astros, I can watch win again. Not win their division, not make the playoffs, not be in the playoffs. It gets like a little PTSD. But I'm just saying, and I'm not just saying this because they beat the Dodgers the last 2 games. Like, I was going to talk about this before even the series. Again, any other team, like, it's just got to be a close division rival. You know what I'm saying? It got to be against a close or a division rival. I can stand to see the Astros win. You know, that's just it. I had to talk about that. I'll be the bigger man. Again, the players I hate, Altuve, Bregman, Verlander, Gurriel, all those guys, absolutely hate. Correa, all those guys hate. Slight lightening up to the Astros winning again. 6 years after it came out, almost 10 years after they started cheating. We'll never forgive them. We'll never forgive the players, never forgive AJ Hinch, never forgive the Astros organization. But I understand we're in a new sort of era for the Astros, and they're winning. They're doing good without cheating. As far as we know. Hey, once a cheater, always a cheater. I'm just saying. And make sure you ID Jose Altuve every time he buys a buzzer. All right, hey, Clayton Kershaw hitting his 3,000th strikeout last week against the White Sox. It took him long enough. I mean, Jesus, he just needed 3 strikeouts. And, like, the first 8 batters, he got to 2 strikes and only 1 strikeout. It was a tough watch. But once he actually did it, I was watching it by myself, but there was actual, like, excitement there. Like, I jumped up once he hit that 3,000 strikeout. Well-deserved, battled through injuries, been there through so many catchers. I mean, I was looking at a list of all the catchers from A.J. Ellis, Austin Barnes, Will Smith, even Dalton Rushing. You go to A.J. Ellis to Dalton Rushing. I mean, that's how long Clayton Kershaw has been with the Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw is a man of legends. He is one of very few, one of 4 left-hand pitchers to throw 3,000 strikeouts. You got to give it up for him. I mean, but it was that he was at, I think, 99 or 100 pitches on that game, and you could tell, like, Dave Roberts, like, wanted to see him do that, but at the same time, it's like, you cannot get injured while you are under our contract again. It was kind of like that, but I'm glad he got it. I'm glad he got it at Dodger Stadium. It was really, really, really cool to see. And, yeah, I mean, it was against this guy from Florida, actually. Vinny Capra, an absolute nobody. But, yeah, it was in the 6th inning. it was great. It was great to see. But then it brings up the question. It brings up this question that I had. What's harder to do in an MLB career? Throwing 3,000 strikeouts or getting 3,000 hits in your career. So there are 33 players that have reached the 3,000 hits mark. Only 20 have hit the 3,000 strikeout mark. But then you think about it, there are more hitters than pitchers across the MLB. So then it's like, it brings up the question, like, proportionally, what is harder to do? And I say, and then like, you got relievers. So CC Sabathia has 3,000 strikeouts, but he was a reliever. So he got to pitch a little bit more than starters. So it brings up the question, what is harder to do? And I want to hear your guys' opinion. What is harder to do? To hit 3,000 strikeouts or to hit 3,000 hits, get 3,000 hits, or pitch 3,000 strikeouts? I personally think that it's harder for the 3,000 hits, but it's hard to think about because we're in a different era where hits are a lot less common right now. And who was the last guy to hit 3,000 hits? I feel like it was recently. I don't remember, but I do feel like it was pretty recently the last guy who hit 3,000 hits. But at the same time, I feel like the guys that are throwing 3,000 strikeouts aren't getting the love that they deserve. Like Max Scherzer, pitched 3,000 strikeouts, he walked off the mound. I think but of course it was with the Dodgers, and he's pitched for 20 teams now. But I mean, I'm just saying, I feel like it doesn't give the love that it deserves. Now, I'm not a pitcher. I love pitchers. I love watching pitching, but like, I feel like it's underappreciated. Let's talk about more Dodgers news. Max Muncy, oh my goodness, scared me. The dude scared me. It was 1 out before Clayton Kershaw's 3,000th strikeout. Max Muncy, my boy. He was sliding, or who was it? Taylor? It was Michael Taylor, I think, right? Yeah, Michael Taylor was stealing third. Will Smith throws him down. Muncy applies the tag, tags him out. All right, hey. I'm ready to see a replay. No, SNLA will not show a replay because Max Muncy's knee went backwards. That's what I thought. That when I first saw it, again, I didn't see a replay because SNLA wouldn't show a replay. That's how bad it was. But I thought Max Muncy. I immediately thought of Nick Chubb on Monday Night Football when his knee kind of snapped when he had no more ACL. Yeah, that's what went through my mind. But luckily, it took a few minutes. He needed a lot of help walking off the field, but he is going to be out for roughly 6 weeks. All it was a bone bruise in the knee, which I didn't think your knee had a bone, but I'm not a doctor. But yeah, it was scary to see. He's been on fire. Should have been the All-Star starter, but the Madres kind of stole that from us. But yeah. SNLA wouldn't show it. He'll be fine. 6 weeks. Luckily, we have the All-Star break, so it's really only 4 weeks after this week, and then the All-Star break, and then only a month. Hey, we could take that. We are willing to take that. But yeah, Muncy's been on fire, and I'm hoping this isn't a setback for him. I'm really, really hoping this isn't a setback from him. Let's talk about Ohtani's pitching. Ohtani has pitched in 4 different games, pitching 6 total innings, giving up 1 earned run, and that earned run was just because of a horrible check swing call and the first base umpire. I don't even know who it is. I should probably look him up and email MLB umpires or whoever I got to email to get him sent down to AAA. But that is the only run he has given up, was that first inning of his first time pitching for the Dodgers. He has had 3 strikeouts in 6 innings. He now has a 1.50 ERA. After his first outing, everybody from all 29 teams coming after Shohei Ohtani. Hey, he has a 9 ERA. Hey, he's only pitched 1 inning. Hey, he's not how he used to be. Hey, look at him now. Now he's better than your ace. With a 1.50 ERA, 3 strikeouts. Again, these are just rehab starts for him. He's just lobbing them in there now. He's just trying to get used to it. After the All-Star break, hopefully he comes back and he has like full outings, Maybe we go up to 4 innings, and then eventually maybe you see it less and less now, but up to 6 innings. But again, I want to see him. I want to see him batting more than pitching. He's an extra pitcher for us. Now, of course, the Dodgers have so many pitchers on the DL right now. But, like, man, we could use the extra arm. And that's what we're kind of using him as. Casper's is kind of coming in as, like, the majority pitcher. Shohei will go 1 or 2 innings, and then Casper's will go 4 innings, and then we'll go into, like, the relievers. Dodgers have way too many bullpen games. We've seen it time and time again. Too many bullpen games for the Dodgers. But Ohtani, hey, looking nice. Looking real good. Strikeout percentage 27.3. Walk percentage 4.5. We'll take it. We will take that every day of the week. All right, hey, last week, the 2025 MLB All-Star starters were announced. Tonight, the rosters will be announced, but I am not filming tonight. I am filming today. But let's go over the starters for the 2025 MLB All-Star game. In the American League, having one of the best catching seasons of all time, you have Cal Raleigh for the Mariners. Well-deserved. Very much well-deserved. At first place, you got Vladdy, his 4th All-Star selection. He just signed that franchise-altering 14-year, $500 million extension, and hey, he made an all-star out of that. At second base, you have Gleyber Torres for the Tigers. This is his first starter selection. Sorry, not all-star, starter selection. Good to see. His WAR right now is 2.3, and he's looking good. Jackson Holliday was the runner-up there. At shortstop, you have Jacob Wilson, his first starting selection. I think that's supposed to say his first starter election. Yeah, this is his first full season. He is batting .339 at the time of when these were announced. He looks good. Bobby Witt Jr. was the runner-up. I think I voted for Wilson. Pretty sure I voted for Wilson. At third base, you have Jose Ramirez for the Guardian, his 4th starter election. Been absolutely crazy. Alex Bregman, the bomb, was the runner-up. At the DH, you have Ryan O'Hearn, his first starter election. Why does an ad have to pop up? Right now he is at a 295, 383, 471 line. Good for an 854 OPS. 5th among qualified designated hitters and tops in the AL. In the outfield, you have Aaron Judge. Which is his 7th starter election. He's been playing for a while. People don't understand how long Judge has been playing. He's been playing for a hot minute. You have Riley Green, for the Tigers, his first starter election. And then you have Javier Baez. Hey, give it up for Javi Baez making his first, making a comeback player of the year. I mean, it is literally the comeback player of the year. Javier Baez, his 3rd starter election, but that was all when he was with the Cubs and all that. So that is for the AL. For the NL catching, you have your World Series champion, Los Angeles Dodgers, Will Smith, the Fresh Prince of LA. This is his first starter election. At first base for your 2025, or no, not for your 2024 World Series champion, Freddie Freeman, his 5th starter election. At second place, you got Ketel Marte for the Diamondbacks, his 3rd starter election. Francisco Lindor, I think, should have... No. Francisco Lindor was shortstop. Tommy Edman, I voted for Tommy Edman, obviously as a Dodgers fan, but, like, I get it. Marte's been having a pretty good season. His batting average is 296. On-base percentage is at a 400. F-WAR is at a 3.0. I give it to him. I'll give it to him. I hate him, but I'll give it to him. At shortstop, you have Francisco Lindor making his first starter election, which surprised me. He was really, really good with the Indians when they were the Indians, and I thought he had a starting one there, but I guess not. So Francisco Lindor is at shortstop. Mookie Betts was the runner-up. I get it. Mookie Betts doesn't deserve to be the starter, but Mookie Betts, he's having an off year. I'll be the first Dodger to admit it. He's having an off year. At third base, I don't even want to talk about third. This dude is I was talking about the Astros earlier. Besides all the Astros that cheated in 2017, 2018, 2019, Manny Machado might be my least favorite player. And I'm not saying that. Like, he's overrated. He is so overrated. Max Muncy, who I get it at the beginning of the season and seasons past have not been looking good, but as soon as he got the goggles on, he's been on fire. He obviously can't play. He's on the DL for 6 weeks. But Manny Machado is your third baseman for the NL. Whatever. Designated hitter, your 2024 World Series champion, MVP, Los Angeles Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani. Fifth starter selection. On fire, man. This dude's been on fire. I kind of want to see him pitch an inning. Is that too much to ask for? Can we see Shohei Ohtani pitch an inning? No, I'm not saying a starter. I'm saying like in the 7th inning. Can we see Shohei Ohtani pitch in the All-Star game? Please. I would love to see that with the Dodgers. But yeah. He was the top vote getter, so he automatically made it. You didn't even have to vote for him in the second round. Let me look at some of his stats. He has 31 home runs now, actually. But he has like 30 or 31 home runs. Slugging .637, OPS over 1, OPS plus 183. You gotta love it. You love to see it. And the outfields, Ronald Acuna Jr. Actually, I was surprised after after his injury. I thought that he was just gonna kind of plummet. No, he's actually doing good for himself. He's been pretty good. You got PCA also in the outfield, his first starter selection. Good. PCA, I'm a big fan of PCA. I love watching him hit and actually field. He's great defensively as well. And then his teammate Kyle Tucker for the Cubs, his first starter election. In December, he went to the Cubs. He's a 3-time American League All-Star, but has never won a fan vote until now, 28 years old, making a starter election. But those are your... Oh, and then hear this. And then you got Andy Pages, Juan Soto, and Teoscar Hernandez. 2 of the 3 were the Dodgers that didn't end up making the starting lineup. But yeah, that is your All-Star starters. We're a couple weeks away. The rosters are coming out tonight. Can't wait to see it. Let's go on to the top 5 biggest blowouts in modern MLB history. Let's get it. Let's go. Where are we at? Where's the tab at? All right. At number 5, this was being played in January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August 22nd, 2007. The Rangers were playing the Orioles. The Rangers ended up stomping on the Orioles 30-3 with a 27-run deficit. No, that is at number 1. We got to restart that for the TikTok. Yeah, because that ain't going to work on TikTok. At number 5, on April 23rd, 1955, the Chicago White Sox beat the Kansas City Athletics 29-26 with a 23-run differential. Yes, the White Sox won games 75 years ago. Newsflash, the White Sox won a game. But yeah, that is at number 5. At number 4, on January, February, March, April, May, June, July 7th. Hey, we're almost coming up on that anniversary. July 7th, 1923, over 100 years ago, the Indians were playing the Red Sox, and the Cleveland Indians ended up winning 27-23 with a 24-run differential. At number 3, on June 24th, 2023, the Los Angeles Angels beat the Poverty Rockies 25-1, 24-run differential. All right, here we are at number 2. Number 2, on June 8th, 1950, the Boston Red Sox were playing the St. Louis Browns 29-4, 25-run differential. Jesus, got allergies. Something. I had to sneeze. Sorry about that. And then the number 1 biggest MLB blowout in MLB history since 1901, the Texas Rangers beating the Baltimore Orioles on August 22nd, 2007, 30-1. And those are your top 5 biggest blowouts in MLB history. All right, that is going to do it for the 106th episode of the HatTrick Sports Podcast. Make sure you follow us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Again, big social media. Make sure you follow us on social media. We got a big series coming out soon that will not be available on the podcast, so make sure you follow us there. You can listen wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, YouTube for all the visuals, literally everywhere. Literally everywhere you can listen to us. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys next week for episode 107.